and welcome to Build Brunch, the daily morning show where we talk about the latest topics in pop culture. I'm Brittany Jones-Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Allie Colbert.
I'm Lucas Tim. Hi, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Woo!
Today, we're going to talk about the reason Taylor Swift's new single is being called a Pride anthem and why HBO's new series Euphoria is proving that the network is not a free-for-all. Plus, singer and songwriter Madeline Bailey stops by to talk about her new single. And later, comedic duo Raina Greenberg and Ashley Hazeltine of Girls Gotta Eat join the table. But first...
We're kicking off our Monday morning with some Magic Spoon cereal. Magic Spoon reimagines the sweet deliciousness of your favorite classic cereal with premium ingredients, complete proteins, and no cane sugar, gluten, or grains.
Yay.
Healthy cereal!
Healthy cereal!
I love the boxes.
I want
Me
some.
too!
Right?
I always see this on Instagram. I think
know.
they're
Yeah.
so cute.
I want to try
I love
cinnamon.
it.
I mean, I
I nailed
legit would
it.
almost like put some of these in like a frame.
Okay.
I'm gonna
They're
put
so
some
cute.
in my bowl.
I love
pink.
Hey. Oh, yum, I want those.
I love cinnamon
God.
cereals, but they're
Thank
so sugary and bad for you, so I'm really excited this is like
Ooh, that's
healthy
good.
and an alternative option.
I like to mix my cereals.
Oh,
I
really?
take a few. I put a ton of flavors.
I am not a mixer.
I'm happy to see that none of you are the vicious animals who put in the milk first and then the cereal. Have you seen those
no.
people? They're all murderers.
Are we,
Those are so good.
were we raised by wolves?
Well, some people, they're like serial killers. They put in the milk first
That's
and then
bad.
the cereal
Yeah, they should be
top.
on a list.
And I don't really understand it.
Not me.
Well, while you guys chomp, I'm gonna move on. Taylor Swift's new single, You Need to Calm Down, is making headlines for being an LGBTQ anthem, shouting out GLAAD and bashing homophobia. The track is the second single off of Taylor's new album, Lover, which is set to release on August 23rd. So did you guys give it a listen?
Yeah.
This is good.
I watched the video.
Yeah,
It was
it's
fun.
good.
Yeah, aren't they delicious?
They're really good.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, what did you guys think about the video? Everyone's in it.
The video's a lot of cameos. You know, a lot of LGBTQ stars: Ellen, RuPaul, Adam Rippon, the cast of Queer Eye.
Yeah.
It's definitely a fun video.
Yeah.
And of course, the Katy Perry, the complete end of their feud has been shown for us to see with Burger and Fries. I mean, you know, it's really fun. I'm glad. I appreciate anyone using their platform to promote love and acceptance. I just think, you know, I think what we're going to get to is Taylor Swift's new embrace of and the use of gay pride. I think is quite interesting. And I'll set you guys up and we'll keep going from there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have to agree about how Pride is celebrated, but I don't want to put others down for the ways that they do choose to celebrate it. And obviously, I just feel like being able to even talk about this is a privilege that, you know, people who fought for LGBT rights years ago, the first Stonewall gay liberation, they didn't have any allies, so even talking about this is kind of like a privilege, being able to say, that's an authentic ally, that's an inauthentic ally. But it does feel a little bit weird to see Taylor sort of conflate her narrative with the narrative of gay people in the way she does in this video, talking about kind of like how she deals with trolls online and then sort of looping in
Protesters.
in a way that feels to me a little bit contrived. However, I have seen her in the past and I've not been happy with her lack of a voice.
Right.
She's the mother of Girl Squad, which is the white cisgender girl gang. So it's nice to see her trying to be more inclusive, which historically she wasn't. And I think this could be a good first step on Taylor's journey as an ally.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope to see her in the future. Shout out to organizations that people can donate to and she can spotlight.
And she actually
Oh,
did.
yeah,
The
yeah,
video, that's
video.
what,
She
Oh,
said,
glad. Yeah, yeah.
She goes, why be mad when you can be
No, but-
glad?
I mean, I
Which is
think-
great if that, like you said, translates into
Yeah.
more activism.
I
and
think
to
we should see
people
more of
donating.
that
Well,
from her.
I
and
did
hope this is the first
appreciate
step.
at the end
Yes.
of the video, she does say go to change.org
Yeah.
and she like links to a petition to basically like ask the Senate to be here for
to pass the Equality Act, which I think actually, I was really indifferent to the video, and at the end I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
good, because there's a lot of fans, I don't think, who even know what the Senate is, let alone the Equality Act, who will probably be like, oh, I should read about that. So I actually did respect her for doing that.
Yeah.
It's a very
Yeah.
concrete thing that people can do
And hopefully
to
she'll
promote LGBTQ rights.
keep doing this. You
Yeah.
know, hopefully this isn't just something for the month
That's
of
the thing,
June that's
yeah.
popular. So like that's what we need to see continued
Right.
allyship.
There's just always that fine line, right? Because her album doesn't come out until August, yet she's chosen June, Pride Month, to release these songs. And so you just hope that it wasn't just for the album, that she really is going to, like you said, continue the work outside of her music.
Yeah.
And encouraging her fans to do the same. That to me will be the true test. But I'm all for her being an ally. That's fantastic. That's great. But like,
Totally.
we need to see the work.
Yeah, and I think every group in society that needs allies feels really vulnerable, and they just, when they see things like this, they're on the lookout for like people that are authentic and genuine, because continued support is what matters, obviously.
Yeah, and that's what I think, yeah, again, anyone wants to be an ally is good, but also let's remember those artists, specifically female artists who have been since day one of their careers. Madonna, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, even Casey Musgraves was from day one of their respective careers and dealt with the onslaught of being an ally to gay people, LGBTQ people, in a way when it wasn't so popular. Even from Madonna 25 years ago to Lady Gaga 10 years ago. I think it's changed so much. But that's the only thing that I look at. It's like, it is very cool to be an ally right now. And it's very cool to be associated with or a member, more of a way, in our social circles of the LGBTQ movement. Of course, a lot of America doesn't agree with that, but I'm just saying, like, so we have to remember those artists who did it when they weren't.
When it wasn't cool.
It wasn't cool.
Yeah. I mean, that even brings in Katy Perry. I mean, Katy Perry, I think, was a really strong ally long before Taylor. And when I watch Taylor's new, like, motif, her new vibe, it feels very Katy Perry to me. Which is interesting because now they've squashed their beef and they're friends again and they're like, it's all love. But when I'm looking at the last two music videos that Taylor Swift has done, they're very Katy Perry-esque.
It really does feel that way.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah, wasn't Katy Perry who wore the hamburger to the Met Gala, and you see her back in the hamburger and French fry suit in the video?
I know, and it's so interesting to pair them up as fries and a cheeseburger. Like, those are like a couple. So I just was like, is there something else to reading?
Oh, you're like reading in.
Yeah, I was like, for like cheeseburgers go with fries. Like, I'm like, oh, them together. Like, it's taking it, for me, it was like leveling up. I'm like, oh, so there's no beef, but then also there is now like lots of love, like commitment to each other in a way that's like, you guys are gonna be together.
Wow, that's hot. That's a high art analysis.
I didn't pick that up.
And in the beginning, when she's in her trailer, she has this painting of a quote that says, Mom, I am a rich man, and that's a share code about how you don't need a man and you can just be a powerful woman. So I don't know. It's like a lot of people have been talking about, you know, what this is a setup to and where's Taylor going from. And she's definitely saying she doesn't need a man.
I thought that, though, more than anything, although I see the path you're alluding to, I felt like it was just her kind of cramming in every sort of like LGBTQIA, feminist, liberal message into one. It felt more contrived to me than setting up for something else, and that turns me off.
But then she was at Stonewall. I saw her playing the guitar with Jesse Tyler Ferguson, and that's when I first heard the people sort of starting to like read into what she's doing. So, you know, who knows? We don't know. I guess we'll see.
I think my thing is still she hasn't made an anthem yet, like whether like Lady Gaga Born This Way or like even Madonna's recent God Control, which is, they're so edgy and it's not about them. It's
you actually listened to that album, huh?
Believe me, listen. I know. I liked it. Shut up.
Did you? But did you really?
Shut up. Okay. But like songs that are daring and it's not about them and really challenging something, I think that these songs with me and this new one don't really do that for me. It's still very like happy, poppy, like okay, it's fine, but you know.
But I think she may be meant for this to be an anthem.
Yeah, I think she is meaning for it to be an anthem. And then it's like, I mean, I don't think it can compare
it doesn't
to, like,
have that,
music.
but I think that was her intention.
Yeah, right? It's hard to tell. We don't really know what her intention is, so we're all just guessing in the dark.
Yeah.
We'll see. Well, okay. And now it's time for some candid coffee. Each week, we will answer a question that comes from you, our viewers. The question can be about anything. If you want us to answer something, tweet us at Bill Brunch. Now let's get candid. Here's the question of the week. Okay. Kira from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Remember to vote, Kira. It's important, Pennsylvania. What are your most rational, irrational fears?
Oh, gosh.
Okay, I know my most irrational. Off the bat.
Okay.
I'm irrationally claustrophobic.
Oh.
And I am always afraid of getting stuck in an elevator.
Oh, well that's kind of rational also.
Is it though?
Like it happens.
I know, but the truth is if it does happen, I won't die there.
Right.
Someone will come and break me out.
But you feel like.
But I
like
You don't know that.
Oh, no, you
think
could
I'll-
definitely die.
Yeah, people die in elevators all the
This
time.
isn't helping. This isn't helping.
We're not here to help. We're here to answer the
We're
question.
never here to help.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a rational fear?
I
So
think
I'll
that's-
move it to my most rational fear.
Yeah.
Lean into your
But
fear.
it's not super rational because chances are I'll get out of the elevator and I'll be fine. But like I could be stuck in
maybe.
there for like 2 seconds and then I'm already like, all right, I'm gonna eat one of you. It's like you're not even hungry.
But what about the
You just
people
pull out a
who,
gun.
Yeah.
what about the people who are about to get saved from the elevator and then the elevator falls through?
Oh.
That's always scary to me. I'm always like, you know what? Like if I'm stuck, don't try to
Just
save
leave
me.
me.
Because that's when the real scary stuff happens, when you get stuck and they try to save you and you're like, no. And I've been stuck in an elevator like probably 4 times.
Yeah, it happens. And I've watched a lot of Grey's Anatomy, and it happens all the time. And then people have medical emergencies, and they die.
Yeah.
So maybe like the fall doesn't kill you, but then you have a heart attack, and you're stuck in an elevator. And that is not irrational, guys. It's in
Well,
our
Allie's gonna have a panic attack. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
My irrational fear is that dinosaurs will come back.
Oh, wow.
That's really
And you're like, no, man. People are in those labs trying to bring them back, and
true.
they're digging up fossils and eggs and all this stuff. And I'm like, science, stop.
Wow, that is a
So
Let a
Jurassic.
sleeping
Yeah, remember
dog
when
lie,
they made
okay?
that chicken? They like made that chicken into a baby dinosaur.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they aborted it, and I was like, damn.
Guys, and I just like read something recently that they have like found these dinosaur eggs, and scientists are like trying to figure out if they can extract DNA. And I'm like, stop it now. Do you know what you're doing?
So Jurassic Park's hard for you.
Oh, Jurassic Park fucked me up a little bit. Yeah.
Wow.
No, real talk. That scene when the kids are in the kitchen and the raptor, because raptors were really smart, which is why we should not bring them back. The raptor like learned how to open the door and then was like sniffing them out. Do you guys remember that scene?
Yes, of course.
It was terrifying. That was the
Yeah.
scariest thing I'd ever seen, and
Yeah.
I still cannot watch that scene.
Wow.
So
Honestly, I'm down for the dinos to come back.
What?
Yeah.
This is what she does with my fear.
Yeah.
too.
Honestly, like I would love to be trapped in an elevator with a raptor and it's like ripping me to shreds, and then like the fire department come and they're like, we're trying to save you, we're trying to save you, Shannon, and then I'm like getting it, and then the elevator goes through and the raptor's eating half of my body in the elevator, and the other half is up with the fireman being like, can you give me a magic mic dance like really quick before I die? And they're like, ew, she's a pervert. And then I die.
you just painted the most vivid
Yeah.
photo. I mean,
Thank
it's
you.
beautiful.
Wonderful.
That
What's
was
your
beautiful.
fear, Lucas?
Irrational fears. I think I used to have this fear more before I met Shannon. It was demonic possession. I think I would have a hard time
Oh, I'm
watching
afraid of
The
that too.
Omens and like, because I am a baptized Catholic, so I'm born with fear and guilt. And I were afraid like demons could possess and Satan
I'm
was
afraid of that
real.
too.
But then I met Shannon, and the Church of Satan really isn't that bad.
Yeah.
And I'm no longer. I feel like if they did possess someone, I would like, hey Shannon, this demon's possessing someone. Can you go talk to it? And Shannon would be like,
Yeah.
hey, what's up? And the demon would be like, totally have like just need their feelings to get out.
He's like, I'm not a bad demon. I'm a cool demon.
Right. Yeah.
Guys, in Shallow Hal, he is stuck in an elevator with Tony Robbins while he's saying, "Devil's come out."
right.
That is
Wow.
our scene.
That's our scene.
Oh my
Wow.
And
god.
then a raptor comes and
then-
eats Tony Robbins.
Wow.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Damn.
What was yours?
Yeah. Mine is wet paper.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
I have a really like disgusting fear
Yeah.
of wet paper. It freaks me out. Like when a menu isn't laminated and you can see all the disgusting finger grease and like where people have like spittled on it. Like I'm just like, that is so disgusting to me, and that's my greatest fear.
I didn't.
Should we try it right now?
do it?
No, I won't do that to her.
gonna be
Did
that-
you see though the fear that washed over her entire face? That
I
was
just
real.
was like, cool, if you want to run the show by yourself. Because as soon as people introduce wet paper, I check out like as a way to survive. I just like check out.
In milk?
So gross. No,
I
I
have been around Shannon where she was like, can you move that please? Like
I
it was
thought it was
something
a
wet,
joke,
and I just
too.
moved it.
Yeah, no, I always
then-
have to ask people. I'll ask people to wash their hands, like if they've touched something that's disgusting and I have to interact with them, because it'll be all I think about. And then I'll just be like, I just need you to go to the bathroom and wash your hands with soap, please.
Well, that's good
Yeah.
for you. What are your rational fears?
Home invasions.
Oh, God.
The idea of a home invasion cripples me.
Oh my God.
Group is so scary.
Yeah.
You're nodding your heads. Can you imagine? You wake up, somebody's in your house. You're like, well, I have nothing.
My rational fear, which is you know, of course, the classic Lucas climate change, but I really fear waking up being bald. I fear losing my hair. I fear I'm wake up one day and all my hair is gone. I'm like, no, there wasn't a warning. Why? Why? I should have gone on Bapisha. And then I have no hair, and I can't be on TV anymore because no one wants to watch. I'm not Harry Mandel. Let's be honest.
There's a couple.
Oh my, what about Mr. Clean? Like, he is like an icon. He's sexy. He's ripped.
Could I pull it off though? I don't think I have the right shape
No.
head. I
You
couldn't.
could.
I'm gonna be wearing that wig.
All three of us just went, no.
All of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought I said you could do it.
Shannon can do it. I mean,
Shannon
I could be
can do
bald.
it.
I'd be
I
bald.
meant Shannon could say I could do it.
Oh my God, imagine all of our fears coming true and me also being bald in the elevator with a raptor eating me and me being like, save me, fire guys. Fire guys, that's what we call them.
Okay.
And now it's time for our first guest. Madeline Bailey is best known for her popular covers on YouTube, but now she's creating a name for herself as one of America's top self-made artists. Today, she joins us to talk about her new single, Red Ribbon. Everyone, please give a warm Build Brunch welcome to Madeline Bailey. Welcome.
It's very comfy.
I am living for this jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Hi.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you. Well, I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
I got distracted by the cereal. I was like, how do I offer her some cereal right now? And I was like, leave her alone. She's here for business. So tell us about Red Ribbon. What was the inspiration behind this track?
Yeah, so Red Ribbon, if a white flag represents surrender, then I wanted an object in my song that represented never giving up, especially in the face of heartbreak and tragedy. I know we're gonna take this to a very sad place.
We've already been talking about our fears for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're good.
So a year ago, almost to the day, my grandma passed away from cancer, and she was diagnosed, and within 20 days she passed away. So it was just very sudden and unexpected. And even though you know at some point your grandparents aren't going to be there, there's no way to prepare for when that happens. And because my grandma was like my #1 fan, she literally had like a shrine to Madeline in her house. Like every CD I ever made, every postcard I ever sent her was like on her wall. It was a little creepy. But because she was such a huge part of my music, for a while, for like 4 or 5 months after she passed away, I couldn't really play. It was hard to record videos. It was hard to go to writing sessions because every time I would start singing, I would think of her, and it made me happy to play music. And I felt guilty about being happy when I was so sad about her passing. And then I came across a song that I'd written a year earlier called Red Ribbon, and I was like, oh my gosh, how crazy is it that I wrote a song a year ago I would need to hear right now that would pull me out of this really, really dark place and remind me that, our hearts are not only capable of enduring that kind of pain, but it's literally what they're made to do, even though it's super uncomfortable, and not the most fun part of life, but your hearts are made to be broken and remade and broken and remade. And the more comfortable you can get with being uncomfortable, I think that's kind of the best place in life to be. And, a year after her passing, I think I've been able to see just kind of the beauty of her life and also the ripple effect of what she left behind as well, which she was a very powerful, sassy woman.
Right. Which you're part of her legacy too,
Exactly.
Yeah. And the music video, you share your story, but you also feature a lot of different women who are sharing their trials. So what are some of those trials that are shared, and how did you select these women?
Yeah, when I was thinking about putting the concept together for the video, I was like, wow, I had such a strong reaction to Red Ribbon when, sorry, touch the microphone. I had such a strong reaction when I heard it. I was like, I wonder if I play it for my friends, if they'll have a strong reaction and they'll have a story that they want to share too. So all of the women in this video are close friends of mine. We touch on topics from like loss from cancer to foster care, to adoption, to anorexia, to just like overcoming adversity and loss was kind of what I wanted to touch on in this video. And I wanted to highlight some of the strongest women in my life because I have some pretty inspiring women in my life. So.
And that is so moving. What was it like being on set? What was the process of making the music video? Was it sort of an emotional set for everyone?
Yeah, super emotional. What I found the most surprising, which I don't know why it was, but I thought by putting this song out there and like I was doing a service to people, like maybe this would be a song that would help them through a really tough time. That was my goal with putting the song out. But while conducting the interviews, because I did all of the interviews myself, I think I got the most healing out of it because I just got to have 10 of the most powerful conversations with 10 of the most amazing women that I ever knew, and I was able to ask them questions that I otherwise might not have felt comfortable with being able to ask, or like when's the appropriate time to ask about it. And we just had some of the most real cool conversations, and I got so much healing from it. So I definitely encourage you to, if you have questions of for your loved ones that are maybe uncomfortable and you don't know when is the right time to ask them, just do it anyway. Because those conversations are, I grew so much on that set.
Everybody's going through stuff, and I think when you realize it's not just you, there is an incredible amount of healing.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, I love the song. I love the video. I was
you.
watching for the show, like having a real reaction of like, wow, this is so good in such a powerful way. But what I love about you, you had your start on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And now you have like 6 million subscribers. So what's it been like to just grow from your own little YouTube channel to now, being a real pop artist?
Yeah, I mean, I come from a very small town in Wisconsin, population 1,042, more cows than humans.
And you have like 6 siblings, right?
Yeah, I have 6 siblings.
But you also had like a bunch of foster care siblings as well growing up.
Yes, lots of foster care. I think probably 30 foster siblings throughout the
wow.
years. Yeah, my parents are like real life saints.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had an unusual childhood. I was also homeschooled until I was in high school as well. So I had an unusual childhood, but I think it also set me on this unusual path of thinking, oh my gosh, from Wisconsin, I could upload videos on YouTube and become a pop star, which is, who told me I could do that? I don't know. And why my parents let me chase it, I don't know why, but they were awesome for letting me do that. But yeah, I mean, in November, it'll be 10 years since I posted my first video on YouTube. And I don't know, I'd say I've been able to do some pretty incredible things and tour all over the world, and I don't know, pretty awesome.
Pretty great, yeah.
That's awesome.
And you're known for your covers of hit songs. So how do you choose like which songs to cover?
Well, I kind of just pick songs based off like when I hear them. If in my head, I'm like, oh, I hear this other version. For example, I did 7 years ago. I did 7 years. So old all of a sudden. 7 years ago, I did a cover of Titanium. It's like a big dance song, and as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a tragic song, and I bet nobody knows how sad this song is. So I decided to strip it down on piano, and I think that's what makes a good song. If you can take everything away and just have a vocal and an instrument, and it's still really good, that's what a hit song is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you performed last night at the Rockwood Music Hall, right, in New York City.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was so cool. I've never been in the room. It was a very small, intimate crowd, but like one of my favorite parts of performing is making the night special for each person, and I was really able to like look each person in the eyes. And during my set, I have these 2 moments that are my favorite part of the whole show. So one is where I go into the audience and I play a song on ukulele and have somebody hold the microphone for me, which is really cool. And then I don't know if you guys like The Bachelor, Bachelorette. Oh, yeah. Okay. Super into it. But there's always that one date where they call the bachelor or the bachelor and whoever up on stage, and they share a slow dance while like a famous country singer sings.
Yes.
So I pull a cute couple from the audience up on stage and sing a song to them. It's like by far my favorite.
That's so fun.
At my show in LA, I had my parents come up and do the dance. It was so cute.
So sweet.
Wow.
And you credit your diagnosis with dyslexia to a lot of like your creativity from that. So tell us how that plays a role in your songwriting.
Well, I mean, dyslexia really made it so that I had to, like, first off, figure out how to go around. Like, I couldn't usually figure out how to answer a question the right way or solve a problem the normal way. I would have to figure out the creative problem-solving kind of way to figure it out. And that's kind of what songwriting is. It's like, how do you say something that's already been said a million times, but in a way that nobody's heard it being said before?
Right.
Yeah, so I think just by training myself all of growing up how to creatively get around things, it just helped me with my songwriting, be able to do that as well.
Yeah, and are you working on a new album now?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I have a handful of songs. I have my next single already picked out. We're starting the music video for it. I'm really excited.
Well, we're really excited too.
Yeah, just this next year is all about more original music, and I'm really excited to share it. I've been, really working on the writing process for the last 3 years, so
Yeah.
really
Cool.
excited to share.
Well, we can't wait to hear it. Madeline, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And you can listen to Madeline's new single, Red Ribbon, on all music platforms. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, guys, HBO's new teen drama, Euphoria, wants to get a rise out of audiences. The series debuted last night and has made waves for its extensive depiction of drug use and nudity. According to The Hollywood Reporter, creators had to cut almost 80 penises, yes, 80, out of the second episode. Here is a look at the show.
I've got an idea. Should I be concerned? You think because I went to rehab, I stayed clean?
I mean, ain't that the point?
If I could be a different person, I would.
Baby, just take your time. You're delicate.
I would tell everyone I love to at least try and change.
Wow. R.I.P. those 80 penises we will never see. Right?
Yeah.
Right? I remember them.
I love that. And they cut it down to, what, 30?
Yeah.
That was the magic number.
So sad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm shocked that that there is a limit on how many penises you can see on TV.
On HBO.
On HBO. Yeah, it's not TV, it's HBO. Yeah, no, I think it's kind of weird, especially because they weren't, it's like a locker room scene that's inspired. It's like an inspired by Carrie, where
Right.
it was an all-female locker room. So I am shocked that we are trying to hide those penises because they're not even being used in a sexual
Right.
manner. They're just it's just a body. So
Right.
I'm weirded out by us constantly being afraid of the human body.
As you would say, they're just our meat suits.
Yeah, just our meat suits. It's not a big deal. I don't understand why we're trying to be oh no, 80 penises, that's bad.
Right.
Cut it.
But maybe it's unnecessary.
Right. Well,
It's a locker room.
Yeah.
I've
we'll see.
never seen 80 penises in a locker room.
Have you been in a male locker room?
But I don't think you see 80
To be honest, we don't see
penises.
80 penises. But we haven't seen the scene yet. We haven't seen the scene yet. You see a few. There's a few out there.
few?
Some you wish you don't see.
That's true.
That's the
Yeah.
truth about
80,
male locker
that's
rooms.
a
There's
lot.
some you see and some you wish you did.
That's the
you
truth
don't.
about penises.
Do that penises, yeah. I mean, I think with HBO has had some points. I think with Lena Dunham or someone who said they've made her cut out certain
Yeah.
sexual acts, and in the end she's like, oh, I get why they did that. They try not to censor their artists, but it's always interesting when they do. I think
Yeah.
with this show in particular, why I've not watched the episode from last night, but I'm gonna watch this show, is because HBO's first attempt to a young teenage-driven drama. And I think that's the purpose of this show, is to show what growing up in 2019 is like in a very dark way. And it's gonna turn a lot of people off, because surprisingly, a lot of the HBO demographic, not so surprisingly,
Right.
are older white people who subscribe to the cable bundle. So it's gonna be very interesting for this show, who will it appeal to?
This is also a young black lead,
Yes.
Zendaya. Let's give it up for her.
I love her.
I love her so
I love her
much.
so
her.
much, and I love the risks that she always takes. I love how outspoken she is. If anybody was gonna pull off this role, it was gonna be her. She's such a force, and so I'm excited. I mean, the truth is, we're in an opioid crisis. I mean, pill culture with teens is insane, and something I did not have to deal with, all these different pills that popping, it's in the music. Kids are getting high, and so I think to talk about
Kids are
it,
getting high.
but I think in a more dangerous way than in previous decades.
Yeah.
Coke and weed are one thing, popping undisclosed pills all night. I mean, that's really dangerous, and it's happening. It's a part of our culture. So to shy away from it doesn't.
Yeah,
make
and kids
sense.
are having sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing too, which the show
Don't
will
have sex.
feature.
Sit around many times I
True.
tell you, don't have sex.
I watched the pilot last night and I really enjoyed the show. I've heard, all the backlash and why people are upset about it, but Sam Levinson wrote this, and it's loosely inspired and based by his experience growing up as a teenager who did drugs and had to go to rehab. And I love that he's telling the story through Zendaya. I think she is just like one of the greatest talents we have right now. Seriously, I think she's so captivating and really just like emotionally mature as an actor. I think she's just so smart and really brings so much to any project she's on. Like if she's in something, I'll watch it just because of her. Like I feel like she's a scene stealer. And I am really excited because in this show, she is, it's like her character Rue and this character Jules that's played by Hunter Schafer. And she is a trans actress who I think this is her first role. And I really just like, I'm excited to see them. They have really great chemistry. And I mean, I felt like the story was grounded. Also, if you've seen The Kissing Booth, Jacob Elordi is in this series and he plays the scariest version of a cis straight white man jock. He is terrifying.
Wait, which one is he in The Kissing Booth?
He's like the main guy that she like is with.
Yeah.
He's like what, 6'5".
Yeah.
He's just like terrifying, and his anger, like especially towards the female characters, I'm just like terrified by. Like he reminds me of every man I've ever gotten in a fight with at a bar because I'm like, you're just too alpha right now.
Same thing, Eric Dane, right, is in it as well, and he commits a pretty horrible offense. But he also is that like really, I think he's like 6'4", just like this very overpowering, like big white dude.
Big dude.
Yeah.
Scary.
Kind of scary.
Did any of you watch Assassination Nation?
No.
It's Sam Levinson's film that came out, I think, earlier this year. I thought I watched it, or maybe it was last year. I don't know. Time, what a concept. But it was like similar. It's like about young teen women, and I don't know. I like his work. Even some people are saying that it's kind of like exploitative. I'm not getting that vibe from it, but I'm here for the conversation.
Is this like going to be an American sort of like edgier Skins?
That's what I think people are saying.
Yeah.
That's what the people are saying?
Yeah, well, Casey Bloys, who's the head of programming at HBO, said this is not Gossip Girl. Like, they're not trying to do that. This is not even, this is going to be more along the lines of Skins, of a very...
But I like my art to be provocative. I like art to be thought-provoking. I look at this cast. Coleman Domingo's in here. I love all the stuff he does. Yeah, I mean, even like Jeremy O'Harris was tweeting about this, and Jeremy O'Harris is a playwright, and if you see his plays, they're super sexual and provocative. I think there's a voice that needs to be shared, and so I'm excited when I see something like this.
You know what, and I just have very much felt recently, I know we all have, that people are just gonna get upset no matter what.
Yeah, right?
At everything, where we don't know what we want from people. We say they need to do this. If they do that, we're upset, you know. So I think just live and let live.
Preach, Allie.
I think it's a well-written show. Last night, I didn't see anything that was super shocking at all. Everything kind of seemed like a regular life. You know, like life has darkness, life has light. And that's what I saw. Still not as shocking as the mop scene out of 13 Reasons Why Season 2. That is still by far the most shocking scene I've seen.
That was rough.
That scene I would say be careful and don't watch.
Yeah, that was rough.
So HBO, 80 penises, we raise you 4 more. And now it's time for our next guest. Raina Greenberg and Ashley Hesseltine are a comedic duo known as Girls Gotta Eat. Their podcast has become a top comedy podcast on iTunes, and their live shows have had record-breaking sellouts across the country. Everyone, please give a warm Build Brunch welcome to Raina and Ashley.
Thanks for having us.
How are you?
Hi, Raina.
Brittany.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. I love that you have cereal. This is great.
Yes. So tell us about how you got started with the podcast.
I was just obsessed with like talking about relationships and the hellscape of dating and all the things, and wanted to start a podcast. And I met Raina and felt like she was the right person to do it with.
Yeah.
So I was like, do you want to start a podcast? Are you comfortable putting your entire personal and sex life out there? And she was like, absolutely.
No problem, sign me up.
I think everybody who knows me knows I was like born to just say unbelievably disgusting things, really like expose myself pretty publicly.
Yeah.
Well, then you were at the right table.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
We do that all the time.
We welcome
Great.
it.
Back there, we were like,
welcome
can
it.
we curse?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
it's the internet.
Yeah.
You're fine.
We
How
encourage
did
it.
you two meet?
We met in Aruba at on the beach,
trip.
actually, at a candlelit dinner next to the ocean, and I sat right across from her at
Oh
this
my
dinner,
God.
and I was like, she seems kind of bitchy. I'm gonna make her like me.
Wow, that's great.
I love that
came
meet
back
cute.
and became friends. Yeah.
So tell us about how you prep for an episode of the pod.
So a lot of prep goes into it. We really, we take a lot of advice from our audience about what they're looking to talk about, what guests are really fun, anybody that we know, or anything we've read recently. And then a whole outline, lots of research. We do a lot of articles and
Yeah, we actually prep.
Yeah, you do the work.
Some people don't.
And you have a wide range of guests. I'm curious who like a dream guest would be for the podcast.
The Obamas.
yeah.
The
Oh,
Obamas.
great.
Yes. So
Let's go.
Brock,
Okay.
Michelle, if
Heard
you're
it here
watching,
first.
I'm sure they're watching.
They definitely watch.
Yeah, have you guys had them on?
No, we haven't had them on. They're a little busy, but they're watching.
They give us notes after every show on like what to improve on.
Why is he even busy? He's not even the president.
I know. It's an excuse.
That's
here.
one for me. Chelsea Handler's I'm a big fan.
Love
So,
Yeah. Yeah, Chelsea Handler would be great. I listened to Bethany Frankel speak recently, and I'm so inspired.
Our
We
girl,
are-
we love that. We love
Has she
Dee.
been on the show?
We're trying.
We're trying.
Same.
You think a lot? You think
Same.
a lot of us? I think.
I don't know. I saw the
Live
photos
studio.
of everybody that was on this
Yeah.
show right before we came out, and I'm a little shaky. I'm never nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous.
Julia Roberts was sitting right where you were.
yeah, same. Like, are we the same?
Yeah.
Basically, Julia.
Well, Girls Gotta Eat in just over a year has become one of the top comedy podcasts on iTunes. So what's it been like seeing it grow over time?
It just feels natural, you know? No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, she's confident.
I am confident, but it's been like a wild ride. But we like work hard and we try to be different and think outside the box and get these guests. And I put a lot of work into editing it, and so. But still, it's just a great feeling. We get to tour. Like, yeah, we look at each other daily, and we're like, "How did this happen? Like, how is this our life?" So,
Yeah, and like neither of us have a background in any type of like psychology or relationship experts, but we just had our
Listen, you should
70th.
listen to you guys.
Well, we just had our 70th episode today, and we've had such a wealth of guests that I really do feel like we're experts now. We've had all these therapists on and money managers and just everybody who's been through all these different things and taking all of their advice. I feel like we've become experts in this, and it's such a blessing. People email us every day, "You've changed my life," and I can't believe it because like they changed our lives, you know. All I do is cry.
we're still single though, so yeah. Not that
That's when you're not crying.
Yeah, that's why we're crying.
You know, I just had a man to help me be better at my life.
Yeah, I know.
Only.
And you mentioned you're going on tour, so tell us more about that. Maybe you guys can meet your others on tour.
The Obamas? No.
I think they're taken. You can't really date the Obamas.
We really did kind of start the year with this New York is so terrible to date. We're just gonna date on the road, and it's kind of worked out. Like Raina, she's like slept with a few exes, and I've met some guys in different cities. So we kind of are like have made it happen.
Yeah, my dad's watching, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I have all this sex on the road, Dad.
He's probably proud.
He's proud of all the sex I have.
really
I'm having more sex than he is.
And you're getting to know America.
Don't put him on blast.
Yeah, you're getting to know America,
We really
the people
are,
you,
like,
the cities you go to. I
Different
mean,
dicks in each city.
You're,
Yeah.
you're doing a lot. 2020, you know?
Research.
Yeah, I can't wait for some international dick.
Oh my
I know. Are you upset? Are you upset about Euphoria cutting out all those dicks?
The show, HBO show.
Oh, that's
They
what
cut
you were
out-
talking.
They cut out 80 dicks from the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
80?
you
Why was
might
there
take that
80
as a
dicks in the
personal attack.
The locker room.
You're not
really
personally offended by that?
Okay.
Were you offended by
I
it?
was. Are you not?
I
feel
like looking at dicks. Like I don't even watch straight porn. Like I just don't. I don't want to watch it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you were fine with the
Yeah.
the dick edit.
Yeah, unless it's like physically near me.
But Raina got a dick pic last week from a former guest that we had on.
Whoa.
And he's like,
hell?
I'm not.
And I think we have that pic right now. That's not
And his name was Barack Obama.
I love that
and
show.
she didn't screenshot it. It was like it was one of our first fights. It was.
You didn't
It was
screenshot?
I didn't.
Instagram
It was
DM.
so shocking. He was just like, "What are you up to today?" And I was like, "Oh, I just got back from this party in Brooklyn. What are you up to?" And he said, "Send me a pic." And I didn't. And
Yeah.
This is not a person I've even held hands with.
Okay.
To be clear.
He's hot. He's hot.
Okay.
Crazy hot.
So he gets
yeah.
away with it.
But like 30 seconds later, bam, dick pic. And I was like, it was so shocking.
What did it look like?
It was a nice dick.
It was nice.
Okay.
Did
was
you
it next
reply?
to something?
Did he what?
Did he put it next to something? I think it's really funny
his
when
fist.
people take.
I've gotten those.
Oh yeah, when
Right,
they're
to
like,
measure it, like a
here's
remote,
like
a water
a
bottle,
mug,
the
and
remote.
you're like, why?
Yeah.
Why? But I'm like, why is it the big remote? Why isn't it the Apple TV
Right.
remote?
Yes.
You
Put it next to the smaller remote.
Right.
The Roku remote.
But I think they want to prove it's like, look at this big remote next to my penis. I can operate a TV
And like,
too.
that reminds me, I have to pay my Spectrum bill.
Yeah.
What if
Cable
women
bill.
started doing that? If they were like, "Ooh, look at these titties," in reference to a spoon, and you're like, "Is that good? I don't
You hold
know."
up like an apple or something like that.
Yeah. As a flat-chested person, I feel like it's not gonna help.
Wouldn't this be great for like nipple pics?
I was like, look how big her nipple is.
I like that people want to like, it's like all about size and measurement. It's very mathematical in a way. Like let's, and you can measure it like this is how big my penis is based off this remote.
I've gotten like accessorized dicks. Like I got sunglasses
Really?
one time.
Wow.
Sunglasses on the dick?
Yes, like Wayfarers, just like, I always compare it to like when you go on a cruise and they
Try
like make a
on.
towel animal and
Yeah.
you come back in the room
Pinocchio.
and they like accessorize it.
Or like a bedazzled
I got
dick?
a bow tie.
Ooh,
Yeah.
a bow tie, professional.
It was really,
That's classy.
Classy.
That's a dick on an interview.
I thought it was a little formal. To be
too
honest.
It was a little too formal.
I mean, that's a
like a
dick in
gala
something
dick?
casual.
Yeah.
Just the jeans and a blazer. We've only been out once. Like I don't
He wanted the job, you know?
dress for the job you want.
That's the job you want, yeah.
What is
It's a
happening?
first impression that you'll never forget. On that note, you guys both started out in different industries.
Like, please leave.
On that note, we're canceled. Thanks a lot.
I don't know how I transitioned from dick to podcast, but I'm gonna try.
No.
I think I just did it.
You did it.
Yeah, thank you so
killing
much.
it.
We're done. So yeah, you came from the culinary world. You're a stand-up. So what was it like transitioning into the podcast, and in which ways were you prepared for it? In which ways was it surprising?
I have a little bit of a background in like radio and TV
Okay.
too. I like the sound of my voice, so it was just like a seamless transition. Raina, I think I just give her so much credit. Like, she never did comedy. She was never on a stage before. In our very first live show, we were both like, "What's gonna happen?" and just killed it.
Gold.
I mean, it's felt natural.
Thank you. Yeah, first time on a stage ever in my life was in front of 350 people at Caroline's on Broadway, which is this unbelievable comedy club. And I was like, what's gonna happen? But the show's been great, and I feel very lucky also to have a partner that uplifts me and supports me. And if I can't, I always say like the thing I love about our relationship is the stuff that I'm not good at, she's good at, and we complement each other really well. So when we started, it was just like, hey, let's get these mics and let's just start talking. But the format of the show hasn't really changed really since day one. We do a little intro, we'll do a guest, we joke around a lot. It seemed pretty natural. And we also, again, do our research. We listen to other podcasts. Right. We like to see what other people that are good at this are doing. And try to also be good at it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, you guys were also like social media superstars, right? Gurus,
Yes,
icons.
yes,
I don't know the
we are.
proper name, the title you guys want. Raina, you run One Hungry Drew.
Yes.
And that's a food, a travel Instagram. What was the inspiration behind that, and how's it like keeping that going with also the podcast and everything?
Well, I stopped doing it.
So, okay, it's done.
So I started this Instagram account about 5 years ago, and I've since. I don't you love when people quit their dreams?
Yeah. That's what we love talking about on this show.
I had always had like a background. Oh, I love that photo. Nice. It's a Cheesecake Factory ad.
Oh, it looks so good.
Oh, that's an ad.
They should have
Love
to
the
pay me for
Cheesecake
that.
Factory.
Hashtag spawn.
I had worked in restaurants. I managed restaurants for Danny Meyer, and I was working like a tech job. And I don't know, all I had ever spent money on was food, basically. So I was like, I guess I have all these photos. Like, where should I put this? Instagram was sort of newer, and I was like, I guess I'll put these here. Nope. I remember a friend of mine was like, you should start like a food Instagram account, and I was like, what kind of loser starts a food Instagram account? That's crazy. And then
You're like, this guy.
You hate this.
I don't hate it. I love it. I bought a camera. I learned how to shoot. I built a website. I really incorporated as much knowledge as I had about photography and journalism and food into it. And through press and things like that is how I met Ashley, like through a press trip. And then I abandoned that dream, and now I have a new dream.
Better dream.
That's how dreams work.
Better.
And Ashley, so you run Bros Being Basic and Fashion Dads, really two funny accounts. What was it like? What's the inspiration behind those?
Yeah, Bros Being Basic is a parody account of like,
Right.
men mimicking the things that women do online. I started in 2014 when basic was like a brand new word. It was like the height of the basic movement.
Yeah,
And
the movement.
I was just like, what if guys did this stuff? Like hashtag blessed. And now it's kind of more mainstream, but I think I started that at the right time. That was really when, and then it took off. So, and it's still, it's doing it today. Guys submit photos all day long, and I work with brands and do photo shoots. And
That's my roof.
Oh, nice.
oh yeah, that's our friend.
That's
He's
our friend.
single and hot. Triple Reese. I love you guys for pulling our ass. FabFitFun's gonna love this.
Tuxedo Dick.
Yeah.
I wish.
Oh God,
please.
I wish too.
I think about his dick all the time. Look at that guy.
Wow.
Yeah, and so that was, again, I started with a blog. I had a blog for years, and then I abandoned that as well and just pivoted. I wrote a blog like, what if guys acted like girls on Instagram? And then that took off, and that was back in the kind of the BuzzFeed Elite Daily those days when they all picked it up. And then I was like, let's start this Instagram account. What is Instagram?
Yeah.
And
Wow.
here we are.
Yeah,
Here
well, you
you
guys are
are.
doing such funny and fun stuff. We loved having you. Thank you so much for
This is
joining
so
us.
great. Thank you.
Everyone, make sure to check out Girls Gotta Eat podcast, live shows, and more at www.girlsgottaeat.com. That's all from us. We'll see you all tomorrow, same time, same table.
Bye, guys.